crowdworking for week 7, the second Wednesday of February. I'm at PCM Creative.
I'm Matt Phil Campbell.
And on crowdworking this week, we've got a different platform we've not spoken about before, which is Emphasis.
Nice.
And Emphasis is for photojournalists. They put together a project and they put it for approval. They say how much money they want to do the project to the best that they can do it, and people come on board and say how much they'll support them, very much like Kickstarter. Once the project has reached its amount, the platform closes down and all of the documentation and the putting together the project is then a closed journey between the photographer and the storyteller and the people who were backing it.
Do you think that's the reason why they've not used Kickstarter? Because they wanted a certain kind of investment from the people getting on board?
Yeah, I think this is a very different audience. This is very audience specific. I think the people who go to the Emphasis site
scared us to death. Go on.
will be looking for projects of this nature to fund. So the one that I wanted to sort of look at today is called Affinities by Gillian Edelstein.
Yeah.
And she is exploring a project that looks back at her past. So she found photographs when she was tidying up her photography studio where she'd done some dual portraits of Tim Burton and Helena Bonham Carter.
Okay.
She found a thank you card for a photo sheet she'd done with Jeanette Winterson, the author, and she thought, wouldn't it be great to go back to them and find out what they're doing 10 years on,
Interesting.
who they would choose to be photographed with. And I think one of the people who had been chosen to be photographed had been photographed with her husband before, but this time said it would be my son. So sort of telling those stories.
Oh, that's interesting.
And I really like that.
Like
so
a
she's
progression in her art as well, isn't it?
yeah. She's looking for $12,000 and she's got perks of 10, 50, 100, 300, 800 and 1,500. So there's a range of perks. The $10 is just being involved with the project once it's been funded and it's closed down, so you get access to the journey.
Yeah.
The $50 is a signed copy of the book when it's completed. And then there's various other perks of them joining them for dinner. And
how's she doing with it? Has she got anywhere with it, or is it?
She has. She's currently got $3,210, 35 backers, and she's got 49 days to go.
See, I'm always interested with different sites outside of Kickstarter and Indiegogo, because a lot of the power of those networks is first mover advantage. So if they were first on the scene with a crowd working tool, the network tends to stay there. So I'd be really interested. We should probably consider getting in touch with this Emphasize network and find out how they've cultivated their audience, because where is that audience of backers come from? We kind of know where it is for Kickstarter, because you think of crowdworking, you think Kickstarter. So like Twitter, people stay in the same place.
I think a lot of these are coming from National Geographic audiences and magazine-based audiences who probably will be aware of particular art photographers, particular photographers in The Guardian, because you have those sort of special spreads, don't you, on Saturdays?
Yeah.
And I think some people who really read those stories look up the photographer and follow them. So I think, I will have to check, but I think Emphasis has kind of been around since blogging emerged. I think it's not a new phenomenon. I think it's something that's kind of developed with technology.
Interesting. I'd be interested to find out the backstory, because I always wonder how powerful it is to go onto another site, and also how many of these we're actually recreating just to get the kind of audience that we want. We give people perks, but then other people can't see it.
I think it's with some of the arts funding sites, I think one of the problems is overload and lack of focus. And I think with Kickstarter, when it is just tech, it's easy to go through. Whereas sort of Indiegogo seems to be a spread of absolutely everything, and it's difficult to know to focus. I really like these professional crowdsourcing platforms where it's very specific audiences that they're tapping into. That seems to be it for this week. So thank you for watching Crowdsourcing. We've got other 5-minute shows, and we've also got our 10-minute PCM update. So do come along to seller54.tv and check them all out.
Thanks.